My plan to venture into the world of narrative and story-driven filmmaking is currently in full effect. Having wrapped up a one-take short film recently, working on an Oscar-nominated documentary, and the release of my 12-minute short film documentary being only weeks away, this calls for a different set of tools to get the job done. Manual cine lenses and anamorphic glass need to be paired with the right follow focus to be able to make precise focus pulls possible, especially when shooting on a gimbal. The Smallrig Magicfiz wireless follow focus kit allows for exactly that. Not only in a small crew, but also as a solo shooter with a wireless side grip. So in this video I will give you my opinion on the Smallrig wireless follow focus kit and if it can compete with a more expensive competition. My name is Damien Cooper and welcome to how to look like an absolute pro on set without having to file for bankruptcy. The full 2-motor kit wasn't in stock, so I had to get them separately, the wireless hand grip as well as the focus wheel. Unfortunately, I only realized later that I'm now missing 2 pieces of equipment, the little attachment for the shoulder rig as well as the monitor mount to attach to your side grip. The whole kit comes in a nice case with a monitor, hand wheel, side grip, USB-C cable, 2 battery plates and all the additional accessories to make everything work. This product being by Smallrig, it comes at no surprise that it has a very modular design. Not only is there lots of different ways you can attach the different parts to your camera rig or your gimbal, but you can also use them separately or attach together. For example, you can use the focus wheel and attach to your side grip so that you have a follow focus unit. And with the piece that I'm not having, the monitor mount, you could actually even attach a monitor directly to this grip unit. The focus wheel has an internal battery that lasts up to 20 hours and can be charged via USB-C. The side handle is being powered via a common LPE6 battery, which can be found on most Canon cameras as well as Blackmagic cams. When attaching the focus wheel to the side grip, the focus wheel is also being powered by the side grip. The motor units don't have their own battery and can be powered in multiple different ways. You can power them through the USB-C port, either via a V-mount battery, a battery pack, or the side grip itself. You can also attach a little quick release plate for Sony NP-F batteries and charge it that way. It also features a battery fail-safe system, so if you run out of battery, you don't have to recalibrate everything and it remembers your last calibration. Speaking of calibration, I love when things are simple and easy to use. And the Smallrig Magicfiz system is exactly that. After hooking up the motor to our lens of choice, we just have to press one button for about 3 seconds and the auto calibration starts. And that's it. That's all you need to do, and now our motor is calibrated to our lens of choice. The motor unit can be attached via a 15mm rod, and this could be a traditional rod system, or you can use the included nadir rail with a 15mm rod clamp and attach it in multiple different ways to your cage or your camera in general. On my Canon C70 I attached it to the top plate that is also by Smallrig, and I will link this one down in the description below. And this makes it quite cool because now I have an additional nadir rail, so if I want to detach it from my gimbal and use it for handheld work, I can quickly and easily attach a top handle to go handheld. Both the side handle as well as the focus wheel have their own little OLED displays. Here you have a quick overview of everything you need: your battery life, the channel you're on, the motor you're using, as well as the current rotation of your focus wheel. You also have access to a small menu where you can change settings. For example, it also supports a forward and reverse switching, which came in very clutch because, as I've already said, I mounted my motor upside down, so I had to reverse the direction of the motor. You have the choice of 16 different channels, so if you run into interference, which I haven't yet, then you can quickly switch between different channels to make interference way less likely. You can also connect multiple motors and quickly switch between them. For example, if you want to use one for pulling focus and one for changing your zoom, then you can easily do so just by the press of a button. The signal provides a transmission of up to 100 meters or 330 feet, and that is plenty to go with, and so far we didn't run into any issues with it. There's another really cool feature where you can start and stop the recording via the side grip or the focus wheel. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make this work on the Canon C70 because it's not supported officially, but there's plenty of other cameras that are supported. Now let's talk a little bit how it actually performs. I love how the focus wheel feels in your hand. It has just the right size, it's smooth to turn, and the focus rotation is just about right in my opinion. The entire unit feels very well made and of really high build quality too. The transmission has a really low latency and I could definitely not experience any delay that was bugging me even when shooting on a gimbal with a moving subject. Overall, I really enjoyed using the focus wheel and I could pull focus easily and I really enjoyed using it. The side grip makes it possible to pull focus even as a solo shooter. You can attach it directly to your camera rig or to a gimbal via the NATO rail. And this is pretty easy, especially for DJI gimbals because they already have a NATO rail on the side. The focus wheel here is obviously a lot smaller with a shorter travel and you use it via your index finger. And this is way harder than pulling focus with a big focus wheel. It definitely takes a little bit of getting used to and you can't make as precise movements as you could with a big focus wheel, but after getting the hang of it, I actually found it quite enjoyable to use as well. To be honest, when shooting handheld, I would probably always prefer just pulling focus on the lens itself and not use the side grip, but when shooting on a gimbal as a solo shooter, you don't really have that many options and it actually worked quite well for my taste. If you want to pull focus from one end to the other on the lens, then it gets quite hard with that little wheel. I had to find myself having to re-grip my finger to get these last couple of inches, especially when you go all the way to the closest focus distance. But again, if you have to pull focus on a gimbal with a manual lens, and I think that this system is great and it definitely works. The motor unit is rated at a 0.5 nanometer torque strength. And this is definitely strong enough to travel fast from one end to the other, even on cine lenses with a longer focus travel. However, unfortunately I found that the 0.5 nanometers is not strong enough to be used with every cine lens. I was not able to use it with my Tokina 11-20. Granted, it has a really stiff focus ring, but as soon as I attached it and I wanted to calibrate it, it says motor blocked. So the 0.5 nanometers was not strong enough to actually move the focus ring of my Tokina 11-20 cine lens. Again, it's a really stiff lens and this is the only lens that it didn't work with, and it worked even with my bigger Sigma 18-35 cine lens and all of the other lenses, especially stills lenses that I attached the focus gear rings to. Just keep in mind, if you have a cine lens with a rather stiff focus ring, then this might not be the right choice for you. Just by comparison, a Tilta Nucleus M has up to 2.5 nanometers of torque, so this is 5 times as much, but it's also more expensive, it needs a lot more power, and it is not as modular as the Smallrig. So let's sum it up. I really love the modular design and this is its biggest strength. It's also very easy to use, to calibrate and to set up, and those are all things that I really value in any product. The whole system is intuitive and very well built. We used this entire system on our one-take short film that I uploaded yesterday, and obviously with one take you can't afford any mistakes. So let's see if that actually worked out well for us. The Smallrig autofocus system did exactly what it was supposed to do. I couldn't see any delays and it was really smooth pulling focus with it. The only thing that bothered me was that it is not strong enough to pull focus on my Tokina 11-20, but again, it worked for all the other lenses that I tested it with. So yes, I really did enjoy using it, and this will be the follow focus unit of my choice for the foreseeable future, unless I need to pull focus on the Tokina obviously, but I can definitely recommend you checking it out, and there's a link down in the description below. So I hope you liked this review, and if you did, then please give it a thumbs up because it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe for more, and while you're already here, maybe check out 1 or 2 of these videos because YouTube really thinks you might like them, and I hope to see you on the next one.